Over my years as a realtor in Waterloo region, I've had the pleasure of meeting plenty of successful person. Here are some of their stories. Welcome to People Around Town. Okay, this is exciting for me. I have the second generation owner-operator at Canada's longest standing, longest running tobacco shop. The one and only Walper Tobacco Shop in Kitchener. Started as Berlin back in 1890. Oh, it's on your shirt, 1891. This is the one and only Pete Koebel. Pete, thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. Awesome. So I've had the chance to talk to a few people that are sort of second generation, and it's always something that's cute, and some people are like, oh, the business given to them. But I think with that, to me, there's like a pressure that goes with that. Like, is this something that, you know, don't mess it up, right?
Don't sink the ship.
Don't sink the ship, right? Like, a lot of work has gone into it, and your father, God rest his soul, picked up the tobacco shop when?
June 1st, 1970. He bought it from Hani. Hani asked him to go partnership with his other, Bob Fife. He asked if he'd be interested in buying it with Bob Fife and being partners, and he said, I love Bob Fife, but he goes, I don't want to be his partner. So he goes, sell it to Bob.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, I came to you first to hear your answer. And he goes, I like your answer, so I'm going to give you first shot. So I think he sold it to him for $125 a week or something back then. I don't know. But
wow.
I forget the story. But.
And so I guess that was you and I are around the same vintage, if you will. So that was before you were born. So you grew up around the shop, correct?
Yeah, I think I started working around 6 to 10 years old. I was in and out of there.
What sort of things were you doing then?
Stacking magazines, probably peeking at the bad ones, and trying to serve customers until I got kicked back to the chair to watch and count money, just fun stuff like that.
So growing up in Kitchener, in downtown Kitchener, you've probably seen the ebbs and flows of downtown Kitchener. Like, to me, this fella here, I don't know who probably has the hands on, has their pulse on what goes on in downtown Kitchener better than this fella. Yeah. I'm trying to think who else would in downtown Kitchener be eyes to their street, right? Up until just recently.
Yeah, it was hustling and bustling. When I was a kid, you couldn't walk down the street at a fast pace. I would have to break out into the oncoming traffic to run around groups of people just so I could whip my way down the street because it was so busy.
As it goes.
5 or 6
unbelievable
wide. It was crazy busy. Yeah. Now you drive down and it's just a ghost town. It's so quiet.
It seems to be coming back for a while, and I think the trend for downtown Kitchener was doing quite well until the pandemic hit. And I think then people started working from home, but it's crazy to think.
Yeah, the work from home really, I think, hurt it. You know, the downtown core, the restaurants, the stores, and you know, the malls. I think the malls were the big killer of the downtowns in all communities. I think when you started putting malls on the outskirts of your downtown,
right,
and not bringing them into the heart, I think that spread out the people. And
actually, that's a good point.
Yeah,
I didn't even really think of that. Because they did have the mall downtown. Let's be honest, that was a terrible mall.
Yeah, King Center.
Yeah, King Center wasn't that hot.
Eaton's was good for the food courts and and I think it had Eaton's in there or something like that.
Yeah. But. So that's, to me, it's funny to think about that because the scene of downtown has changed tremendously. And then let's just get right into it. And I'm going to jump all over with my questions because this is the way I am. Now, the Walper Tobacco Shop is no longer at the Walper Hotel, right?
Correct.
And I'm sure there's positives that go with that, and there's some negatives. I think the casuals might not be able to find you anymore, like somebody that just had, a baby boy or something and wants to pick up some cigars. But well, I guess when you want cigars, you can't order them on Amazon quick enough. You still got to go to a shop.
That's right.
Which is good. But I guess not having that location at the Walper Are you still finding, and that transfer was done about 4 years ago, correct?
I'd say 2021 I pulled out.
Yeah, 5 years.
July 1st, maybe, yeah.
All right. And then with that move, I guess, give me some of the negatives are obvious, right? You're not you're not at the Walper anymore.
We were in a home for 130 years. My dad was so passionate about the building, and I loved it. I grew up there as a kid running halls. The hotel was closed for renovations. Yeah. We had the baby grand from the ballroom refinished at my uncle's up in Hanover, and had it in our living room for, I'm not sure how many years we had it, and singing in our living room, and furniture from the old hotel was in our cottage for years, big heavy chairs. Just great memories of the old hotel. Stories of the gangsters like Capone, running rum out of the basement, the tunnels, and, I love the old pub downstairs. It was just a great warm building. My old office I miss. I had so much fun.
Yeah.
Up there with Dad and his buddies. And
well, I guess I know where you are now. And,
that's good.
And I think most of your regulars know where you are now. It's not like they have another cigar shop at the same location. But now that you have your new shop, which you own, right? So you're your own landlord now.
Yeah, no landlords pushing us around.
Which is nice. What are some of the benefits of that move for you?
The store probably made more money in 5 years just off real estate than we could have off tobacco products, so that was a great move for the store. Just being able to sleep easy at night, you know what I mean? Not having a landlord telling you he's only giving you a 5-year lease when you got a 130-year-old business. I couldn't sleep for 5 years because I knew it was coming back up so quick.
That's crazy.
Just it's nice to have all wood appliances back in the old store, and it's all old wood and not melamine wood that I was
because you didn't really want to invest.
I was pushed to streamline the old store. I tried it, and then me and the landlords didn't see eye to eye, and they asked the old barber shop to leave the hotel. I pushed myself to get out too, so we went hand in hand with the old barber shop. So.
Mm-hmm. And it's weird that the barber shop isn't there anymore too. So I guess it's the sign of times change, I believe.
Yeah, I went out and stood on King Street, 5 or 6 years ago, and I looked down the street, and you couldn't buy a nice pair of shoes, you couldn't buy a pair of pants, you couldn't buy a watch, ring, there was just nowhere to shop anymore. I'm like, why am I keeping my retail store down here if there's nothing else to promote me,
True.
Promote us?
There's no cross, There's no cross shopping that's going with it at that point. You go to the menswear store, you're feeling good about yourself.
Yeah.
New me, and then at the same time you come in and get a cigar to celebrate, right?
That's right.
That's, I don't know. To me, there's something poignant about that. There's also something sad about that, but it's nice that. Was there any fight over you keeping your name, or was there any question in your mind?
No, the smoke shop's 2 years older than the hotel. We were originated in 1891 on the corner of King and Queen, and then I believe the hotel was built and we amalgamated into it.
Okay.
And we incorporated in 1950s. Yeah. So, there was no name.
There was no chance of the name changing whatsoever.
No, I think the hotel's changed its name more times than not, so...
Again, to me, you're the first-hand historian of downtown Kitchener at this point in time. I don't think, now that Dandy's is gone, I think you're the guy.
I think it's the oldest business in Kitchener, to be honest. I think Schneider's might have had his beat at 1888, and maybe CIBC, but I consider that an institution out of business.
That doesn't count in my books.
Yeah,
no.
I think Walper wins. We're number one.
Number oldest. 1. For the cigar aficionados, we'll get into cigars. Promise. But, a lot of times the city and the city of Kitchener will do this far more than the city of Waterloo. They'll close down the streets, right? They'll close down the streets for Chris Kindle. They'll close down the streets for Oktoberfest. Is that a benefit to a shop owner? Is that something that doesn't necessarily... What's your take on those?
Yeah, if you're going to close the street, there's got to be something going on. You can't close the street a day early to make it for tomorrow. You have to close it for your celebration and then get it back open so you keep your businesses flowing.
Okay.
You close streets down for renovate or for construction, you're killing businesses.
Okay.
You're taking thousands out of their pockets.
So does it, like, for instance, being closed for Oktoberfest, being closed for Chris Kindle, does that help business, or does that
It helps during
It helps during
business during
that time,
the festival.
Okay.
But if you close it for a day or two before and a day or two after, it really hurts the business.
So in the
your flow of traffic's not there.
Okay, so for that time, but then to average it out, if you're closed for either side of that window, then really you're right. There's
if you're doing a car show on a Friday and you close the road down on Thursday, for the day, you're killing business for a day that's not part of the show.
Right.
For your Blues Fest and everything, I miss greatly. Like, Blues Fest was a great time.
For business,
Get
I'm
to
sure.
see all buddies and customers, and you know what I mean.
Anybody that's close by, they're down there.
Miss
They're popping
being down
in.
there for the Blues Fest. Car guys, I think we're into cars, not cigars.
Yeah.
We need exotic cars down there. I think those guys don't care about money as much as the old car guys.
They're worried about their vehicle smelling or whatever. The old suede.
The Ferrari driver, he'll just smoke his cigar in the car. He don't give a shit.
Yeah, you just get another one
he'll
later.
just get another one in a couple of years.
That's awesome. All right, so there's that. Now we've moved from, and I don't know. To me, health kicks are here. They're there. There's the ebb and flow of. Okay, cigarettes are bad. You don't carry cigarettes.
Cigarettes are bad. I haven't had one in 20 years. They're bad.
Awesome. And at any point in time, did the Walper tobacco shop carry cigarettes?
Oh, we've always carried cigarettes.
You always carried cigarettes.
Still do,
You still carry the odd cigarette here.
Yeah, we got organics, naturals, we got all that stuff.
Okay, well, those might actually be good for you. Who knows?
Not as addictive.
They're not
as addictive.
Yeah,
You don't crave it as bad as the.
Oh, where's the business in that, right?
Yeah.
So there's no additives, and then right now there's the excitement for these nicotine packs and so forth. There.
Yeah, your snooze. Yeah.
Your snooze, if you will. What do you use as a barometer or a filter to figure out, okay, what sort of product am I going to carry?
Yeah, I just you want to carry product that people want. You know what I mean? You got the hockey players that are into the snooze because they don't want to smoke cigarettes or have a cigar to force them to relax before a big game. And you got women now smoking small little cigarellos because they're stressed out and they just need to unwind at the end of their day, so they're having a cigarello or for breakfast or for dinner or whatever they want.
And don't want
relax.
the crazy addictiveness of like a proper cigarette, if you will.
Yeah. So they banned the flavoring of cigarellos, and that really hurt the women that were having their wine in a flavored little cigarello. Now they went back to smoking cigarettes because they're like, well, if I can't get what I want, then I'm just going to smoke.
Switch to the
They're
next
going to
thing.
blow smoke. A
Right.
lot of people like to blow smoke to relax, and I don't think it's as bad as people think it is if you use it in moderation. If you know what I mean. You do your day and you want to relax and blow your smoke. I think you're better off than the person that just holds their stress in for the next day and then blow up eventually.
Stress kills.
Stress is the worst.
Stress is the worst.
Smoking wins.
To me, it's better than taking a straight L and just being miserable around your family, and so your family hates you back, and so forth, so on. Now, you did mention hockey, and I remember you chatting about hockey, but that makes me think then.
It's our game. It's Canada's greatest game.
And maybe the giveaway is the Rangers pin as well.
Oh, sorry.
That you have there. No, there's
had to bring that for the Rangers.
There's no sorry in supporting the Rangers, so don't you worry about that. Growing up in the shop, did you know you're going to take over the shop?
I think my dad was always pushing me to get into a government job and trying to make me, do something bigger and better than he did, but I saw how much fun he was having every day of his life. I couldn't go to work for a man that, I couldn't.
To wipe that smile off your face.
Yeah, seeing Dad have a bottle of Crown Royal in the office and sipping with his buddies every couple of days, it was...
I think
it was an honor to follow in his footsteps.
And I guess that's one of the benefits of walking to work, too.
That's it.
So you don't have to worry about that.
That's right.
So getting into the business was something that you figured you wanted to do. Or what were
It's
your
just
other...
sort of, yeah, I think my dad put it up for sale a couple times. He wasn't sure that the cigars and tobacco was going to last long enough to support a family.
Right.
Thank God he was wrong. You know what I mean? It's still going. Cigars are still selling, and yeah, it's a fun business still, so I enjoy it.
And then with I'm sure you get reports on what's happening with cigars, but to me, 10-ish years ago, it seemed to just, I don't know, the respect for it, if you will. Like it has a different connotation to definitely cigarettes and many other things. There's
Seems to make people sit, relax for half an hour. You want to do it with other guys versus the cigarettes. You just smoke and do whatever you want. You know what I mean? The cigars really seem to bring boys together, and
the social aspect.
I ask customers, like, how did you two become friends? Like, you're 30, he's 50. Like, and they're like, oh, we met at your cigar events, and we've been best friends since. And then I looked at a buddy sitting beside me, and I'm like, well, that's where I met my buddy. You know what I mean? So it's
likewise
sort of brings people together and gets you out and talking.
And now you also have your cigar events in the summertime.
I do,
right? Yeah. How did that come about? Was that something that Dad did before? Or?
I think, yeah, my dad started it back in the 80s, and he'd bring in Cuban cigar rollers and get all his buddies and good customers together, and excuse to have a good time together, and it sort of evolved. And then when he passed, I sort of lost his group of buddies, and sort of shrinking on me, and I'm like, listen, I started talking to the customers. I'm like,
what can we do?
We got to bring our buddies, and we got to start making this art, like sort of our buddies,
our crew
coming out. And I think I went from 12 or 13 guys that event to 33 the next event. It's just climbed ever since, so it's been great.
And how's within that? I've been to 2 of those, only 2, which is kind of brutal, but that's fine. Been to 2 of those. And then you also bring in representatives.
Yeah, so we'll have guys come in from the States representing their big companies, you know, like Perdomo has been up here, and EP Carrillo was just up last summer, and we've had JT, what was it? I think his name's Justin Trudeau from Christophe Cigars.
Is it?
It is Justin Trudeau from Christophe was up. He's a lawyer from Boston, real funny character. JT, let's just call him JT.
JT, yeah, let's keep it simple.
I might be screwing up his first name, but I'm pretty sure it was Trudeau.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
And then, so with those events that you hold, do the manufacturers or the distributors, are they the ones that call you to come and do this, or how does that promotion piece work for?
I basically go to the suppliers and, you know, try to get a few good cigars together at a good price for the customers, and so we can have a good affordable night and shoot the breeze and smoke different cigars every month, and
because every
see
time
what everybody likes.
But I think most events you do have a rep that comes up.
Yeah, most every event I've had, yeah.
And those reps come up for that particular event?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Or they might be in Toronto to service a group of stores, and they'll call me and say that this rep's coming up. We'd like them to come to your store to do an event. And
now, is that normal for other stores and other shops?
I think they're starting to pick up on what the old stores are doing, and starting to get on the board to get their groups together.
Yeah. So then, and speaking of old stores, being a privately owned, there's another, I don't know if it's publicly owned, who cares? I don't even want to say their name. But in terms of the old cigar shops, is it almost like a fraternity within you from like, okay, you know the guy in Kingston and the shop in Ottawa and so forth? Are a lot of those family held as well, or how does that work?
Yeah, a lot of the old boys have been in. Some of them are leaving. A lot of them are leaving the businesses because they're getting into their 70s and stuff. So they're selling to their next generations or to their employees that they've had for a long time. It's sort of like an old boys club. We get together. We used to get together just to sort of try to combat Health Canada's, you know, ridiculous rules that they put on as changing bands. That was a big fight for us. They ruined the look of the whole store, putting green bands on everything and green tins on everything when, you know. We sell marijuana now with pink filters, but you can't have a cigarette with a brown filter anymore.
That's a good point.
You got stuff aimed at selling to kids like raspberry vodka, and we can't have a vanilla cigar for a 19-year-old lady to have with her wine. It was sort of we tried to fight it. We all put our money in. I'm so glad I did, because it seemed like the boys who didn't put their money in to fight against Health Canada were sort of being picked on by the group about, maybe
XYZ.
Yeah, so I was sort of glad I put my money in just so I wasn't being talked about at the group meetings. But there might have been a few stories. I can
see how that would work, though, and but actually it's a good point. And part of me thinking, it's not like there's a big cigar lobby, right? It's your shops. And it's your makers, right?
That's right.
And none of the makers make here, right? For very few. I'm sure there's a couple blends here or there. And so there's really, it's you guys independently against the powers that be.
Yeah.
It's not like you're DeMaurier, right? It's not like together you form a DeMaurier, or blenders from Cuba are agreeing with blenders from Nicaragua, and
Yeah, you just want to see fair business across the board. We're against. You're in real estate. You're against your other real estate guys, but you can all be friends at the end of the day.
True.
Business is business, but you want fair business. The tobacco business is just. It's been sort of an unfair business in my eyes. It's just, you know what I mean? I'm glad to hear. I just got a phone call that the feds are starting to take care of the shops to make sure that you're doing everything legitimately. And
which you want, because you're doing it that way anyway.
So it makes, even playing field.
Right.
You know what I mean? You follow the rules. So I like to sleep at night, so I don't want to be breaking laws and worried about getting arrested tomorrow, you know what I mean? But I just want to play even playing field, as you would if you're in the real estate and someone's, I'm going to tell everybody what the price is before they come into the offers or whatever.
Yeah,
real estate
exactly.
Backdoor deals.
Unless I know the price, I don't like it.
Yeah. So just even playing field's nice. And
and then with you do this, I see you're a huge supporter of the Kitchener Rangers.
I love hockey,
Love hockey,
good
period.
hockey.
Okay. So, not good hockey, you'd be a Knights fan if you could? You're a Rangers
We're going for the Memorial Cup this year. Rangers are going all the way.
Okay,
the London Knights aren't going to be there this year. But
What do you find, I've always thought of you as being affiliated with the Rangers, right?
We've served Rangers for my whole career in the smoke shop. There's always been Rangers coming in, and Ranger coaches and presidents and the telecast guys, and there's always been someone from the Rangers coming in and out of the shop.
So this is where I'm going. Are you able to name drop some different people?
No.
Not just Rangers. They're just buying cigars. Are you able to, come on, some
old Rangers?
No, not just Rangers. Some Rangers, some of the coolest people that came to your shop over the years that you can think of.
From the Rangers?
Not just the Rangers,
not just
anything,
Rangers?
Period.
Some of the coolest people that have ever been in the shop, sorry. I had Keith Gretzky was in. That was pretty cool, so I was begging him to bring his brother Wayne in, if anybody knows Wayne Gretzky. I was begging
anybody knows Wayne.
I told him he can have my store for the day. I will stay out of the way. He can drink scotch, smoke cigars, do whatever he wants.
And nobody will be allowed to lick their cigar before they cut it. I think that's a Wayne thing, isn't it?
I think that's a Gretzky thing, Please don't lick the cigar.
You get cut out.
Yeah, like the old boys used to have to lick them to keep them together because it'd probably be so dry or something. I don't know, but
So Keith Gretzky was in.
Keith was in a few times. I got some cigars till he moved out to Edmonton, I believe, and he was a pretty cool dude. I've had the Pentagon.
Yeah?
I've had the Pentagon guy come in. He was pretty rad.
So is it just roll in by himself or with the crew?
I think he was going to get his blackberries for the Pentagon, and so they stopped in to get cigars, and I said, "Holy cow, you're buying a lot of cigars here. I'm sort of worried about you going home."
Yeah.
I said, "Here's my card. If you have any problems getting these cigars home, I'll call me. I'll come meet you, or I'll do whatever I can to make sure you don't lose these cigars." And he flashed his badge at me. He said, Secretary of Defense, the Pentagon, and gave me his card and said, if you ever want to smoke a cigar in the White House,
let you know.
He goes, give me a call if I'm in Washington. And then what did he say to me? He said, if there's a boy that stops me, he goes, the boy that stops me is going to have a big problem. Something like that. He was a tank, so I don't think he was getting stopped on his way home.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Oh my God, you got me on the spot for who's the... I've had some great customers. I got Darryl Watty, he's a customer.
Thank you very much.
Some of his friends, Brendan Murphy's pretty cool cat, and oh man, Craig Mello.
Yeah. Well, to me, I'll pop in.
Wade Belak.
Wade Belak to you?
No, he looked like Wade Belak.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say.
I knew he played hockey.
That's amazing. So you've had the Pentagon guy. To me, that would be kind of a surreal.
I had Bill Cosby's limo pull up out front. I had a security guard come in, big dark-skinned fella, and I was like, you got to tell me who's in the limo, because it was right at the end of the 90s when Demi Moore's on Cigar Aficionado, Sharon Stone, and I'm like, I can just see this limo is so sexy, like someone big's in there. And he wouldn't, he goes, if I tell you, I got to kill you. And I'm like, whoa, it's okay. And I gave him a good deal on the cigars, and some of the best cigars in the world. Monte Cristo A's are huge.
Oh, wow.
And I haven't seen one in years. And so I said, just phone me and let me know whoever's in the limo.
After it's done.
If they're happy with what I picked them. And so the security guard called me on his way to Toronto and said, Bill Cosby's in the back, said you did a great job. And back then I was wishing he would have came in. Now I'm sort of glad he didn't, maybe, but the good old Cos. But
I don't know. I think it was between the hours of 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. You probably could have been okay.
There was one other gentleman, which I wish he would make the Mo Norman movie. He was in, must have been 20 years ago, bought a pile of cigars and said he was investigating doing a Mo Norman movie, and all the stories I heard about Mo in my store, it's incredible. All the old boys that used to golf with Mo and tell the stories. So we shot the crap a bit, and then he said that he bought his wife 30 cases of Canadian beer, 23 cases of Canadian beer.
Wow.
And he's putting his $8,000 or $10,000 worth of Cubans in where his spare tire goes, and he goes, if they want the cigars, they're going to have to move all the beer to get to them. So I think he made it home safe too, but...
Those are the tips and the tricks for smuggling cigars.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you have to do it, but it's a good idea.
It's a good idea. Yeah, there was one day I was wishing I was at the shop. I was sitting at home, and I was sitting in my hot tub having a scotch and a cigar, and I checked the cameras to see how the store was doing, and I saw 3 long bearded guys all over my store, and I had a young lady working, and I started freaking out like she's going to get robbed, and I called her. I said, holy crap, we got to watch these guys walking around the store, and she goes, Pete, it's ZZ Top. And
really?
So she had ZZ Top, and so they must have been playing at Center in the Square, so I missed them. And the other coolest guy ever was Ryan Stiles. Is it Ryan Stiles from Two and a Half Men?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's Ryan Stiles. He came in, and I was up in my office, and the young lady was serving him, and he threw her a pretty good tip, and I saw him heading down towards the bars, and I thought, oh, God, the best guy I could ever have a beer with would be this guy. I went down the strip looking for him, and I saw he was in, I think it was 20 King back then. I think he was...
Peter Martin's, whatever.
Yeah, Peter Martin's. I think he was in having lunch in there, so I was like, oh, I don't want to bug him in the fancy restaurant. So I went down and had a couple beers at Bobby O'Brien's, and as I came back, he was walking up the street in front of me, and I could hear him saying, I got to go back in the cigar shop. I got to go back in the cigar shop. And his security guard's going, like, what's your problem? Like, what is with this cigar shop?
Yeah.
And so he came in, and then I followed him in or whatever. And I said, Jesus, I said, is that how you're so funny on stage? Is you go out and have a few beers before you get up on stage? And he goes, you know it, bud. And I just drilled him questions about working with Charlie. And
that would have been cool.
What a life they lived. And he was a cool cat.
To me, cigar people find cigar people, though.
Yeah.
It is what it is. No, there's something about, I think, the time that cigars take. It's kind of not, like, you almost got to be ready for it. It's not that quick fix, right? It's It's the process. It's the process of cutting it. It's, the process of even picking it up and looking at it and saying, no, I want this one for this characteristic or that characteristic or that characteristic. And if...
And it's memorable.
And it's memorable.
If it's your
it's good conversation.
20th birthday and you had that one cigar, you'll never forget that cigar. You know what I mean? Or your first cigar that you really loved, you'll never forget it.
Like, I don't need a cigar every day. Like, nothing close to that. But sitting down with a friend, and I think about within my sort of sphere through, even locally, there's guys I know from cigars, or somebody that I already like, right? Or you already have a good relationship with them.
Yeah.
You have a cigar with them. After that, you're good.
You're good,
right?
Yeah.
Unless they're a true idiot. But if there's
you wouldn't invite him to have a cigar with you if he was a true idiot,
right? Or but you can't fake it for a whole cigar.
Yeah,
right.
That's right.
Like, there's going to be 5 people that are all sort of pretty much on, and the one that's off will be found over the span of a cigar.
Yeah. And then, next time you just get a real small cigar if you have to have a cigar with them. Just a quick one, please.
That's exactly it. And it's kind of amazing. And now for a while there, you did that golf tournament too, which I don't know, man, now to me it was good of you, but the math didn't math. And I almost feel like I owe you extra money for your cigar.
Well, the suppliers at the beginning, when I started doing it, they were just it was just business is booming, economy's booming. Suppliers just give you everything for nothing almost, it seems.
Right.
And then you try to keep going. You try to keep this tradition going, and then it starts bleeding you because it's like you want to be that guy that gives everything for nothing.
Right.
Yeah, you can't run things like that forever. We won't have a Walper tobacco shop.
Well, to me, there's no need for that at all. But I'm thankful for you. Anytime there's a tournament or something like that, and we need a sponsor for and maybe it's just me, I guess, because I guess
you do the tournament, so I don't have to do it. I just come and bring my boys to yours.
You are invited to the wedges with Watty tournament. It's going to be, I think, the last Monday in May.
Oh, you're doing it?
Yeah, I'm going to do that again. Yeah, nice. Last Monday in May. You're on the list.
Nice.
Mark that. Anybody else comment below? I can get you on there too. And if I
do a golf tournament, it'd be a tight group, and you'd be on the list
then
too. You guys be in there for
and
sure.
Uncle Bill.
Yeah, Uncle Bill. Yeah,
Uncle Bill's got to be on there too. Okay, so you work. How do you know? Do you work set hours for yourself? Do you try to log X amount of hours in? Because again, it's always a question.
I worked 30 hours in 3 days because someone was sick this week.
Right. So best plans get laid to rest in many cases. You try to run a schedule for yourself, I'm guessing, because you set the schedule for the week for your employees and staff, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. Your employees and staff tend to be a little bit younger, which is what you're going to have, but they still seem like really knowledgeable.
Oh, I think they're more knowledgeable than me now. They retain so much more in their younger brains. I think that the stuff I used to sell, you can't get anymore. So you got all these newer products coming in. They just pick up on they got Googles and YouTubes. They can just retain the information so well. I'm so impressed with some of the younger kids.
And the younger folks, they don't seem to be, your staff doesn't seem to turn over that fast. What's the key to it? Is it your interviewing process, or do you run off references, or how are you getting good people?
Just you got to pay them good so they stick around, and you got to treat them good and treat them like your kids. Really, you got to treat them like family, and just love them. You know what I mean? And hopefully they love you back and stay with you.
They definitely do, because many times I'll go to other shops where there's younger folks working, and they're just punching the clock, right?
Yeah.
But these the guys, the lady, they're on it, and they're in tune, and they're good to remember sort of what you like and what works for them, and I just find it impressive because it's not like that's a normal thing.
No.
It really isn't. And I hope whatever you're doing in that regard is good. And I think hopefully that lets you relax a little bit more when you're not working, right?
Yeah, I live a good life.
Yeah. So speaking of, I guess, if you're going to have 30 hours in a row, what are some other things that you like to do to have fun and keep balance?
Yeah, I love my golf now. It seems like it's one of my last favorite sports that I'm able to play, and
Because we're getting old, Pete.
we're getting old. Yeah, no more hockey for this guy, and yeah, I love my hockey. I love skiing with the kids. I like snowmobiling's one of my favorite winter sports, so I'm really into
Oh, you
that.
have a good year for that then.
Yeah, I'm loving that. So it's fun.
And then snowmobile, just not on anything to do with that, but I think balance plays a huge part. So like snowmobiling, do you have like a good crew of buddies that are self-employed as well that, we're getting a good dump, I hope you're taking Thursday off sort of idea? Or how does that work? Or is it like planned ahead?
I got a great cigar customer, a neighbor of mine at the cottage. We've been like brothers since my parents bought the cottage when I was 5 years old. So him and his brother are named Peter and Chris, and me and my brother are Peter and Chris. So we just sort of came all brothers, and yeah, usually it's just Peter and I that Peter and Peter go snowmobiling, and
The
usually
two
we rip
Peters?
for 2 hours, and then we come back and have a nice cigar, and then go to our quarters and have a snooze. Usually it's pretty exhausting.
Well, no, snowmobiling, I've done it before, and it's because it's so fast. You have to be so on, too.
Yeah, we go quick. Yeah,
I believe that's the case.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I'm thinking in terms of future of Walper, I think there's ebbs and flows. People are going to, my kids ask me, why are you smoking a cigar? I said, a cigar's for celebrating, right?
That's right.
Simple as. That's why you see them smoke a cigar after they win the Super Bowl, after the NBA championship, after the Stanley Cup. Somebody has a cigar, even though they're trying to turn the cameras off it more, but it still sneaks
When your
in there.
business turns 135, we'll be smoking a cigar.
There we go. That's precisely it. So as that ebb and flows, and there's different. I think I still believe cigars are still cool.
What's your favorite cigar? I'm dying to know.
My favorite cigar that I would actually pay for on a regular basis.
No, just your favorite cigar.
AJ Fernandez, Cameroon.
Cameroon.
Yeah, New World. Easily.
I should have known that one. Yeah.
Without a doubt. Yeah,
nice.
That's the day and night. If I were to smoke a cigar a day, that would be it.
Cameroon.
If I were to have morning cigars, that would be it. It's, yeah. And then there's other ones that have their time and place. But without a doubt, AJ Fernandez, Cameroon. And that is, people say, is that a Cuban? And no, it's not a Cuban. It doesn't have to be a Cuban.
It doesn't have to be a Cuban, no.
Right? I think that's kind of the beauty of it. You find what works for you.
Yeah.
Right? If somebody else likes something a little bit heavier, so be it. I can appreciate it. And then I've had some cigars that, wow, I'll finish it. And by the way, I don't actually inhale cigars. I just wash out the bad words. Really. You just taste it and it's like, I shouldn't have said that, and blow it out, and it's kind of like your mouth is blessed and you can get on with your day. Nice. That's my favorite. Now, I should ask you, since we're on that, what is your favorite cigar now?
Favorite cigar now? It used to always be Ashton Churchill. It was the smoothest cigar I ever smoked. It was $8 when I started smoking it. It's probably around $40 now.
Yeah.
It's a breakfast cigar. You could be golfing at 8 o'clock in the morning and smoke one of those. You could inhale the whole thing and you probably wouldn't cough. It's that mild. Monty, too, is probably my favorite Cuban. It's the most flavorful,
Yes.
great tasting Cuban in my eyes. Cohiba 6 would be, Siglo 6 would be second. But today, my favorite cigar, I'm loving Leaf by Oscar. They're Heaven and Hell.
Okay. That's the one that's actually wrapped in a tobacco leaf.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
Yeah, those are really cool looking.
So, yeah, I like them all. They're so good. But.
Well, guys, if you're thinking to yourself, ladies and gentlemen, if you're thinking to yourself, wow, I haven't taken a moment for yourself, I suggest you take 2 moments. First moment, to drive down to address on King Street. I know where it is.
603 King Street East.
603 King Street East in Kitchener. I suggest your first moment is to go down there, take a visit. Whether Peter's there or not, you will be serviced perfectly. And then after that, take a moment for yourself. An hour, give or take, with a favorite beverage, whatever it is. Could be soda water. Could
Can
be
I
coffee.
give you the best quote of the year at my store?
Please.
The best quote of the year I heard this year was a gentleman came in and said that his friend went in and bought him cigars for his birthday. And then when he delivered the cigar to his buddy and they were having a cigar, he goes, where'd you get him? He goes, oh, I got him at Walper Tobacco. And he goes, from a guy named Pete. And he goes, oh, you saw Pete the owner? And he goes, yeah. And he goes, you know, I almost feel like starting to smoke cigars. And he goes, why is that? And he goes, just so I can go hang out with Pete. So I was like, I wish he would have gave me an Instagram or a Google review with that, saying that was the best quote ever.
I think that's the way we're going to cap it. So either you're going to need your own podcast, or you're going to have to start smoking cigars, or at least buy some cigars for your friends or family or whoever loves cigars. By the way, I will throw this out to you too. If you know somebody that likes cigars, or you remember them having cigars, that is one of the easiest, greatest gifts to give somebody, is just go pick up some cigars. They'll give you the recommendations necessary, and trust me, it will be appreciated.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Peter, thanks for having me on. The one and only Peter Koebel, second generation, first rate quality dude.
Nice.
And a Kitchener, Berlin almost.
Berlin.
A Berlin beauty. All right. All the best, guys.